My name is Lauren Boyles, and this is my oral presentation. I'll be talking about Washington Irving, the amazing American writer. He was born in New York City in 1783. He never married, never had children. He was the youngest of 11, and he got his name, fun fact, because his parents' hero was George Washington, so they named him Washington. Um, After a lifetime of amazing work, he died in 1859 in Irvington, New York. He was ironically buried in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. And, well, let's talk about how it all started. He and his brother, one of his brothers, decided to move to England. They were going to move to England and run a family business. But after years of the business not making any money and causing nothing but stress and anxiety, they decided they needed to close the doors. So they closed the doors, and for Washington, this was devastating. He thought that, you know, he wasn't going to ever be anything, and that this was his life was over. But life had a different idea. In 1819 through 1820, he published something that was a stress reliever, something that he did or that he wrote just to help with anxiety and to help him get through life. And he decided that he was going to publish it, and it was going to be called The Sketchbook. The Sketchbook was a collaboration of multiple pieces of writing. It wasn't just one story front to back, it was multiple. Because it was something that he had been working on for years and probably life. Because this was something, like I said, he did to relax himself. So he wrote this book or stories and made them all into one book, and he published it, and his world after that changed. He became well known. He became the first American author to ever be able to make a living just by writing alone. He was the first American author to be recognized by the English establishment. And that's a big thing. That was a really big thing for him. And, when he wrote these stories and he published this sketchbook, he became something that he had dreamed about, but he never really thought would happen. The presidents wanted him to come and talk, high up people. He got to travel. He became the person that he had always wanted to be. And, some of the stories in the sketchbook are The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. These two stories are really what made him become known worldwide. I mean, for instance, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it's been made into TV series, movies. You read about it in high school. It's something that everybody knows of. You've either heard of it, even if you didn't read the book, you've heard of it. These are things that really put him down into history's book. And for Irving, this was a big thing. He wanted to be that author, but before he had published writings and published even books, and he wrote things and put them in the paper. But it wasn't until the sketchbook and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle that he really became worldwide and became the author that everybody knows him as of now. And back then you really didn't write horror stories. It just wasn't something that you did. But with Washington and a few other authors, they decided they were going to change this. Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it's a horror story. It's actually the best, it's the most popular horror story. It's one of, if not, the most popular in America, or American Horror Story ever made. But they decided they were going to write about what was going on in their society at the time, but they were just going to do it in a different way. They were going to do it in a horror story. That's how they were going to write it. And, once they started doing this, they just, people read them and they decided, hey, I like this. This is a good idea. This is something that I can get into. And so they actually paved the way for horror stories to be made, which I'm excited because I love scary movies and, I like that kind of stuff. But anyways, in conclusion, I think that Washington was an amazing writer. You know, not just The Legend of Sleepy Hollow or Rip Van Winkle, but even the other stories that were put into the shelf book. They're amazing pieces of writing. And he finally, he wanted to make a name for himself. And in the end, he did. He made himself into somebody that he had always dreamed to be. And I think that is a great way to live. Don't ever give up on your dreams. And he didn't. And he took something that he didn't think was going to be anything and turned it into something amazing. So I think he had a great life. I think he did amazing work. And I'm glad I got him. All right. Bye.